Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sligo Show with myself, Brendan Tierney. Today we have a very well-known face in the musicals and music world of Sligo, Sinead Conway. You're very welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Brendan.
Great to have you. And you're here to tell us about your new show coming up in the Hawkswell, only in a few weeks' time. And the name is?
Yes, I'll say it for you.
Yes.
It's I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change.
Okay, and if you could describe it in 2 lines, what's the gist of the... Is it couples and all the chaos that comes with it?
Every aspect of relationships.
Okay. Any method acting?
Too
We'll
much.
cut that out.
Bleep. Yeah. No, there's basically, we're going from first dates, awkwardness, being married and having kids, and all the way to dating as widowers at funerals.
So really crosses.
The whole lot. Yeah,
Okay, so
every single.
We'll see you in different stages of your life. So as the show goes on, is that the way it's done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Very
Yeah.
good. Okay, well, we'll come back to that in a few minutes because like when we have you here, person who's done so much around Sligo and beyond, take us back to small Sinead. What was the first step into the world of theatre, music? What was it first? What was the first love?
My very first singing competition.
Okay.
I was 3 and I sang.
Nearly.
They still learn this in school because my little Ben learned it at school. Teddy Biog, all in Teddy Biog, we. And I had my little yellow Care Bear and dropped him on the floor. Anyway, I won my first little trophy for that when I was 3. Yeah.
Wow. And had you been singing at home before that? Or was like preschool obviously or something?
I just was born into a house of singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right from parents and then obviously the whole family.
Yeah, no, there was like a choir when I was coming out.
Yeah.
No. So there was just singing everywhere all the time in our house. I was right in the middle. So, there was singers before me and singers after me.
And they're still coming through. Is your kids into that interest in that world himself?
He's not showing a huge interest, but he has a gorgeous little voice on him.
Okay, so
Someday maybe.
Yeah.
But,
Very good.
But as I say, I want him to be a doctor so he'll look after me when he's older and that he'll be, have a bit of money for himself.
That is a good pension plan. That's for sure. Never mind Irish Life and all those. Just get your kids to be wealthy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that myself. And then moving on. So obviously Sligo has a wealth of drama groups, theatre groups. Was it in school you first kind of started getting into that world, or was it one of the local groups?
I would have been like, no, I was never in musicals. I always wanted to be, actually. My best friend in primary school, I went on holidays. When I came back, they had done the auditions for Annie. And I missed out. So I was just so upset that I didn't get to be part of that, and everyone else that I knew did. So ever since that was when I was about 9.
Yeah.
I used to look at the Champion every week or the Weekender for auditions, so I wouldn't miss it. And there was just never anything until very recently. Like I did a very small kind of cameo role in Calamity Jane.
Okay.
Back in 2014.
Yeah, because I was saying I was in 99, and I was going. This isn't that long really. So you've been doing musicals. It's that recent.
Yeah.
10
now
years,
you probably know me more from like Anything Goes or
the various bands,
singing on stage and all that kind of thing. But musicals, it was literally. I mean, I was a teen angel in Greece.
Oh yeah.
Like when Shane Filan and Alan Morgan were in it.
Yeah.
All the lads. And then, just that, what was her name? I can't remember her name, in Calamity Jane with Sligo Musical Society. And then 2018, the role of Dolores Van Cartier came up, and I was like, she's pretty much exactly me.
Yeah, okay.
And I was
opening an open book here. Right?
Yeah, but I was too scared to go and audition because it was like a lead role, and I didn't even know if I could memorize lines. I just had no idea. And I kind of said it to Niamh Crowley one day. We were at a mutual friend's wedding, and I was like, I believe they're looking for a Dolores. I was kind of, I was kind of thinking, should I, would I? And she was like, I'll talk to Mary. And yeah, I went in for an audition, and yeah, it was great.
Now, for anyone, and I'm just making sure I'm with that Sister Act, isn't it?
Sister Act.
Phew,
yes.
I was joking, I am getting this right because I was there, I seen that,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think that
yeah.
was one of the first times I would go, oh, I hadn't seen you really doing such a big role. So, yeah.
Well,
and
I never really. That was my real introduction now to.
what
to
an introduction
musical.
to go all the way
Yeah,
lead role.
yeah.
And I often say when I go to the Hawkswell, when you're looking up on the stage, you think, oh, they're just completely used to this and comfortable. Were you like bagging nerves at doing it, or had you got really comfortable at the time the shows came?
Just, I suppose, like, am I going to remember all those lines or whatever? But I felt so comfortable just playing the part of a singer.
Okay.
And a kind of very loud, out there kind of a singer, which she is. So I really enjoyed. I loved that role. I just felt it was just the role I wanted to play. And yeah, I was lucky to play it twice.
That's right.
For the Fun Company, yeah. Now, I did 9 to 5 as well. I played Judy Burnley in 9 to 5, and she was one of the 3 lead girls with Fiona Heine and Angela Maguire. And she was a very timid character.
Okay, so you get both.
That did not come as easy to me now at all.
Well, you seem like a fairly timid enough person. I don't meet you that much, but in the times I met you, you're always very quiet and placid and fun. But so you associate yourself more with the Sister Act role? You'd rather
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, when I'm on stage, I'm loud.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the voice is there, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was your favourite role ever, so, to play?
Yeah. Now, I just did The Witch in
yeah, my kids
Into
loved
the
you in
Woods.
that. They had great praise.
I loved doing The Witch's rap.
Yeah,
I
me and my
loved
wife were
that.
talking about this evening about
Yeah.
The Witch's Rap. It was excellent.
I really, again, I just enjoyed that. And I remember one of my sisters said to me coming off stage, she goes, I never really noticed it before, Sinead, but you have a really witchy face. Yeah, thank you so much.
Nothing like your family to
No.
back you up when
I
you're
know,
on
I
a
know.
pinnacle.
Yeah.
And is there any roles out there that you've watched on stage that you haven't done yet that you'd love to get into?
Oh gosh, do you know what? I'm really starting to get into musical theatre now, and really kind of trying to explore it. I mean,
were you an anorak of musicals? Like, would you watch them all growing up and that? Were you really into them?
no.
Okay,
no.
so only now as you got into it, you go.
It's only now that I'm. Oh yeah, I remember as well. I remember being on stage with Mark Feely playing hopscotch in the background of West Side Story.
Oh, right.
So I was obsessed with West Side Story. I just
Thought you were saying
loved the
Westlife.
music. And
They weren't really-
Westlife.
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
Westlife, of course. Yeah, I thought I was going to marry Mark Feely.
Okay, that mightn't have worked out. I'd say. No.
Anyway.
So, the guys had their world fame and lots of the big shows. Obviously, we can't let you leave without. There was the X Factor experience as well.
Yeah.
And that was, we were saying, 19, 20 years ago now.
Yeah, 19 years ago. We actually we had done a Westlife tour before that. So we were actually supporting Westlife for a couple of years before that for their turnaround tour.
That must have been insane to go.
Yeah.
To say.
Do you remember they played in Sligo in Markovich Park?
Yeah, I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
Now.
So we supported them there, and then we did it was the Point Theatre in Dublin, and then Belfast. Was it the Odyssey in
Probably
Belfast?
the Odyssey, yeah, one of the bigger ones, yeah.
So yeah, we did that, and we were just like, wow, this is like so amazing. So yeah, then we kind of, we were all like, oh, Louis Walsh, how are you there?
Yeah.
And so then we were like, look, let's give this. We saw obviously Tabby was on
He had
X Factor
opened the
in
Sligo door.
2004. Yeah, so we were like, this is accessible. Let's give this a shot. So we did it, and yeah, that was
Just a surreal thing to have done and to look back on like.
Completely mad.
I would often get this vibe, from listening to people, wherever they're from, saying it was just bonkers. But only afterwards did it sink in?
It was a total roller coaster, to be honest. It was just like 1 minute you're just like, I remember the Saturday night live shows, and you'd just be waiting to go on the stage, and your man would be warming up the crowd. I remember once seeing my cousin on stage with his top off because loads of our family were in the audience, and I was like, there's I won't say his
So
name.
obviously the guy had brought him up or something to
Yeah,
come
and
up
it
with a
was
bit of
all.
fun.
I was like, "What's going on?" But just the screams and like knowing there's like 10 million people watching this. This is like, it was. Oh, the adrenaline was insane. But then you'd have your moments like when, you know, we were in the bottom two against one of Sharon's acts, and she was a very popular act on the show.
Okay.
And so Simon, we were Simon's act, so he saved us, and Louis saved us because we were Irish.
Okay.
So she got kicked off.
Okay.
So then we were like the worst people in the world because one of the favourites to win, I suppose, got kicked off and we got saved. So then it was all about Louis voting with his passport and all that kind of stuff.
Do you at that time know this is like a pantomime as such, or do you go, oh, it's really personal, or they're saying some nasty things about us? Did you take it like that? You know what I mean? Did you take it to heart, or?
It was hard to not take it to heart at times. Now, thankfully, there was no Facebook or Instagram or any
there wasn't
of that.
a major
It was just
social
before.
media.
So we were 2005 and all of that kind of kicked off around 2007, I think.
Okay.
So thankfully, that wasn't really a thing because I would say that it just does crazy things to
that
people's
must be
heads.
it's a crazy world. I wonder if
Yeah.
people think
I mean,
fame
we-
and glory, but
We got a small bit of it. I remember in our initial application form, we had to write one of the questions was what celebrities do you fancy, or and I had put down Dermot O'Leary. There he is. You know, he's nice. And like 1 week I woke up and all over the papers, Sinead Conway is dating Dermot O'Leary on the sly and leaving rehearsals to have these sneaky dates with him. And I was like, I wish.
you're like, please tell Dermot we can make this happen. God, I mean, to be thrown into that world from, you know, like regular small town like Sligo, I suppose, and then that craziness, like to see yourself on the paper, bananas. And so we see you all for years in the Hawkswell singing, like one of the most amazing singers I've ever witnessed live, and I've seen you for the musicals. The old Anything Goes. Do you still do much? There's still the Christmas gig sometimes.
We do the Christmas stuff, but I mean, we work together so much anyway.
Well, the team nights obviously is just there. So.
Yeah.
So would you, if you had to choose now, you can only do one. Would it be back singing or would it be out on the stage acting? Which do you get more of a kick? I know that's a dangerous
Just
question.
singing, do you mean, or
Just
backing singing?
No, as in being the lead vocals in bands. You know what I mean? Just singing as like that.
Yeah.
You could only do that. Do you get more of a kick out of singing, I suppose, is the question, or musicals?
Right now, the musicals are really exciting for me because it's still relatively new and I'm still learning roles and learning my way like through acting. And I have to say, I think Kieran Griffiths is amazing. What I've experienced over the last 2 days working with him has just been really
He
amazing.
is. I've met the man a few months ago for the first time. This is the new director of the Hawkswell, for anyone watching.
Yeah.
But he's taken on this show now that you're in, as he's directed. But within a few minutes, the man kind of just hits you.
Yeah.
So 2 days. Sorry, just to get back to that, you've only got like 3 weeks, is it, of rehearsals approximately?
Yeah, 3 weeks of rehearsals and then we're into production week. So, yeah.
So it's intense. Have you all your lines learned yet? No, not at all. Did you plan months ago? I'll definitely have them learned by then.
Yeah, pretty much. Now I have a fair bit, but just need to drill.
Get the muscle memory going.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about, as you said, it's about relationships and all the stages of it. So what's your character, or what's your favorite? What's the favorite era of that person's relationship stage? Do you like playing the most?
The question is, you say, what's my character? Which character? Because we are literally changing to completely different characters for every scene. So it's all different scenes, and we're paired with different people for each scene and all of that kind of thing. So it's, but it's, I'd say every single scene, there's a moment of, oh, I remember that happened to me before, or, oh my God, you remember those two that did that, or,
So you're reaching back to local
there's-
stories.
Yeah, and there's lots of just identifying with what's going on in the show, but there's a lot of comedy in it as well. It's very entertaining.
Well, we've seen on the night at the Hawkswell had their showcase, for the season showcase, sorry, and I seen a scene from it. It really, really, I mean, you know, when you come on a show like this, I'm not going to say, oh, it was crap. No, it was so good. It was so funny. It was brilliantly acted. And I mean, that was before you had even got a chance to get through your rehearsal. So I'm really excited to see when it's finally there, ready to go in a couple of weeks' time. So you must be very excited. It's a very different one. It is a famous musical. Now, again, this is me not pretending I know much about musicals. This has been done Broadway and all that, is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's an off-Broadway show.
Off-Broadway, right, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so I never heard of it before. So, yeah, I was just
Something
like,
fresh for the audience in Sligo.
Totally, yeah. It's great.
I'm sure it will be. Well, look, I can't wait to see it in the flesh. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
To have you now. So it's great to get all these great famous faces of Sligo on the show and hear a bit more of your story. The best to look at the show, it is April the 3rd to the 6th.
That's it,
And
yes.
as they say in the Hawkswell, get your tickets now at hawkswell.com.
That's the one.
There you go. Thanks very much, Sinead, for joining us.
Thank you, Brendan.
So thanks to Sinead for joining us. Don't forget, she is in this new show, as you just mentioned, I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change, coming up April the 3rd to the 6th at the Hawkswell. And get your tickets at hawkswell.com. Thanks to Brian for doing all the hard work behind the cameras, and we'll see you all again next time.
The Sligo Show is produced by Pixel Productions and hosted by Brendan Tierney. If you need video for your business or live event or would like to appear on the show, send us a message today.
This show is in partnership with ATU Sligo Innovation Centre, the hub of innovation and commercial enterprise for startups, industry and academia. So if you liked what you just seen, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel here. We've loads of great interviews from a load of really interesting people over the series. And if you're on social media, which I'm sure loads of you are, we are on Instagram and Facebook, so give us a follow there.